Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Sorry for my absence, but I've been so busy recently. Moving back has just taken so much of my time. But today, I don't have one, I have two project bikes ready to start work on. So I thought I'd just give you a quick introduction to these bikes and I will keep you updated and show you what we're going to do to get them back on the road. Now, the first one is a Yamaha FZS100 Fazer, otherwise known in the US as the FZ1 or the FZ1. Now, I don't know why they use a Z. You know, there's a couple of films they've had in the past few years. Police Academy had a character called Z, actually represented by the character Z. Nice bike! And also the absolute classic Pulp Fiction also had a character called Z, represented by the character Z. And if you remember the famous lines from that film, Z's dead, baby, Z's dead, it wouldn't have sounded the same if somebody had said Z's dead, baby, Z's dead. Think about it.
Who's Zed?
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
Anyway, on to the bikes. First bike is a 2005, and in fact you'll see right behind is also a 1988 Suzuki GSXR750, but we'll get to that in a second. First one, let me turn this around. So this is the FZS100 Fazer. It's a 2005 model, and I picked it up from the auction for a relatively cheap price. Now, what I've found since I got this, got all the paperwork, is this bike hasn't even been MOT'd or on the road since 2018. Now I think it's first it was well looked after, but then it's probably gone through, in fact it went through 2 owners since it's been off the road. Obviously people wanted to pick up a project and then kind of ran away from it. So I've only had a quick look at it. It doesn't even start. It's actually the same as the GSXR, but I'll get to that in a minute. Now, the first thing I noticed, in fact, when it came, the front tyre was flat. I thought the head bearings are gone. Then I realised it's a flat tyre, pumped it up, so it actually moves. You can see the paint on those wheels, front and rear. Going to have to repaint them. These come with the detuned R1 motor. So same R1 motor that was in the 98 onwards Yamaha FZS R1. In fact, that was the last bike I ever had before I left the UK in the early 2000s. But it's detuned version, still got 143 horsepower from the factory. So very, very decent horsepower. Now we can see actually on the engine, the paint's chipped off, but you know, that's what you'd expect. The bike's done. It doesn't start, but I believe it's done, what, 48,000 miles? I'll check it in a minute. BNES model, obviously the black engine. This one has the silver swing arm. These S's had a mix. Blue dot brake calipers. I checked the pads. Actually, the pads are good, but there is a bit of scoring on the disc, so I need to sort of look a bit with a bit of oil there as well. So we may have a leaking caliper. More than likely, it's not been ridden. It's probably the seals. I may have to rebuild them. The fork seals are definitely going to need replacing. What else? Someone's installed a set of Renthal bars on here. Now I noticed that when I had it on the other day, actually it arrived yesterday, that both headlights don't work. Funny enough, the daytime running lights do work, and one indicator doesn't work. Now these were quite famous for their comfort. When they first came out in 2001, they kind of like were not received that well. Funny enough, most of the motoring press afterwards did actually say that that was wrong. They were mistaken. This actually was a bloody good sports tourer. I mean, look at that seat. I mean, it's as comfortable as hell. So we have some very, very interesting paintwork on here. Now, obviously, somebody's probably had a go at it with a rattle can. if you look at this, it's so dull, it's unbelievable. It doesn't feel like cheap Chinese plastic. It does look original, but somebody's had a go at all of it. And then actually a different colour here. It does state on the actual documentation that it's grey. So looks like somebody's had a go with a rattle can, and well, the rest is as the rest is. So what do I expect to do? I expect to replace the fork seals. I expect to replace probably the caliper seals. May have to do the discs. I've got to paint the front wheel for sure. Rear wheel doesn't look too bad, but probably do both at the same time. First I've got to see if I can get this engine started. So the first thing I'll do before I do any of that is see if I can get the engine started, and we'll go from there. I've just noticed as I'm talking is it does have a nice set of bar risers there, so obviously for a bit more comfort. These were known for being quite comfortable, but a lot of people put on higher bars and what have you. So yeah. Anyway, I will get working on that, and we'll see where we go with it. Second one, and this is a this is a bike that's very close to my heart. It's a GSXR750J 1988 Slingshot, the first of Slingshots, and it's so close to my, because I actually had one of these brand new, blue and white, brand new, 1988. It was my first ever big bike 35 years ago, and up till now it's still the favourite bike I've ever had. I love GSXRs. It was a first of a run of GSXRs I've had over the years. Ironically, this is my 7th GSXR, which is actually going to be the same as the first one. In between I've had two 1100s, oh god, another two 750s. I had 1,000 last year, and now I have this. And the way I got this was quite, it was just one of those things. I've been on like the Suzuki GSXR and Slingshot groups for a few years, and last year somebody on the group said they're living in Australia and they still have their bike in Wales actually, and they have to let go of their storage. So, you know, let them know why you want the bike, and they'll give it away for free. So I sort of said to them, look, you know, I own one, 1988, best bike I've ever had. Love to have another one. If I get one, I'm going to get it on the road, and I'm not going to sell it, which I'm not going to do anyway. I'm going to keep this forever. And in the end, he said, yeah, you can have it. So a few months ago, I hired a van, drove all the way to North Wales. I had to buy a ramp from Amazon, loaded this in, strapped it in, and drove it all the way back here. Also, this one doesn't start. It did come with a big box of spares. Let me just show you a couple of bits. It's behind another bike, so a bit hard to see, but it is done in sort of Pepsi colours. Comes with a Yoshimura RS3 oval exhaust. Now there's bits and bobs that all over it that need to be replaced. It has been used on a track. There is, I don't know if you can see there, but it is a lock wired oil filler. No doubt that the drain plug will also be lock wired. It did come with some other parts as well. There's another Yoshimura round carbon here. I've got a brand new screen in the box of spares. Right, so in the spares there are several sets of brake pads. Most of them are race ones for the track. About 3 or 4 drive chains actually, I assume, because they stretch so much when you're using it at the track. And various other bits. There's even a K3 fiberglass K3, or shall I say GSXR 1000 K3 seat unit in there. So I assume they were going to put that on. One mirror. The other one is kind of like that, broken. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to getting this one on the road. You know, more than anything, I would love to have this on the road. And once I got it on the road, originally I was looking at what should I do with it, and I was thinking, should I take it back to original? You know, like should I do it blue and white like my first one, or shall I make it like one of the RR replicas? But then it like occurred to me, well, what I should really do is first I should get it started, which I'm going to do in the next couple of weeks. Now I've made this video, probably this weekend I'm going to try and get some fuel in it, just see if I can get it started. I know it's oil and everything. I'll probably try and get both these bikes started this weekend actually, just to see if it's viable, obviously, to get it on the road. And if it does, what I'll do is I'll put a new screen on, I'll go through it, I'll probably change all the brakes, or change sprockets, get everything cleaned up, get it MOT'd, get it on the road and ride it as it is, and then like do a rolling restoration. I'm not going to get rid of it, so I've got time to get this GSXR exactly how I want it. So yeah, once it gets started, once it gets on the road, I'm not selling it. I will keep that. The Fazer, well, let's see how it goes. I mean, it's not kind of the bike I really need to have. I have the Speed Triple, which I absolutely love. I haven't even introduced you to that bike yet, but if you remember last year, I got the GSXR1000 K4, which I ended up doing a bit of a deal with somebody. Long-winded story, but did a deal, and I've got a Hayabusa for a while. K2 version, 2002, beautiful silver one, but it's a bit heavy for me. I don't really like that bike too much. Although it had the most wonderful engine in the world. I think nobody could disagree with a Hayabusa engine being the most fantastic engine. But I wanted to go back to a naked bike, so I sold that and I bought this 2011 Triumph Speed Triple with the lowboy arrow and everything. And this thing is absolutely amazing. It is in such good condition. I bought it really because of the condition of it. Fantastic machine. It sounds awesome, pops and bangs on the overrun, Brembo brakes. It's just a tremendous piece of kit. This is the ABS version as well. One of the reasons I bought it, because of the condition and the fact it's an ABS one. So that gives you a quick overview of my two projects, the bike I'm riding all the time at the moment, and we'll go from there. Just stay tuned. I'm going to keep up to date now with these bikes as I go through them, as I get them running, as I fix them up, and maybe you guys can help me make decisions on what I'm going to do. The Fazer, shall I respray it, shall I not? But let's get it running first, see where we go, and you guys can help me out. As always, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry again that I've been so long between making videos. I really have to make that up to everybody, including myself. And anyway, I'll see you soon. Take care all. Stay safe. Bye bye.